I'm Anil Kumar. We are exploring characteristics of functions, and in this video we will learn how to write increasing and decreasing intervals for a given function. So let me sketch a function for you. Let us say here is inverted parabola, right? So it's kind of like this, and we need to find out increasing and decreasing interval. In this example, you will notice that I have not drawn any coordinate plane. I have not given you any points. Now for such a question, how will you answer increasing and decreasing intervals? Now what we can do in such things is we can just mark a point and we say let this point be A, right? And then we can answer the question. Okay, so that really helps. So this is a hint to you. At times we may have that kind of a situation. Now whenever we talk about increase and decreasing with reference to a graph, we are always looking at the graph from left side to right. So if I move from left to right, what I find is that we are increasing first and then decreasing. So in this particular case, we can say increasing interval is from negative infinity to A, right? And decreasing is from A to positive infinity. Do you get an idea? So if you are just given a graph like that, this is how you could write increasing and decreasing intervals, right? Now let us give you a practical situation. Most of the time you are given the values, right? So I have a graph here which is kind of like this. Now in this particular graph, if I give you the points here, which are, let us say, minus 3, 0, and 2. And if I say this point here is at minus 1.5, and this point here is at, let us say, 1. In that case, can you tell me the increasing and decreasing intervals for this particular function? Well, if you see from the left side, the function increases from minus infinity to this value, right? So let me call this point as point A, this point as point B, and let's say this point A is at minus 1.5, B is at 1. So I'm writing y here and x here, so we can say that the function is increasing from minus infinity to minus 1.5, and it's also increasing from b to infinity, that is b is at 1, so we'll say 1 to infinity, right? So don't get confused between negative and positive portions. It is increasing as we move from left to right. As far as the decreasing interval is concerned, it is between a to b, and that is from the x value of minus 1.5 to 1, right? So that is the interval in which this particular function is decreasing. I hope with this the concept of increasing and decreasing interval is absolutely clear. Now let me share with you a test question based on our learning. So if I have a function here like this, right, and let me say this value here is minus 2, and this point is minus 3, this point here is 1, this point is 1.5, and you need to write down the interval when the function is increasing and the interval when the function is decreasing. So you can pause the video, answer the question. In this particular situation, what you see is that the function is increasing from minus infinity to which? Minus 3 or minus 2? To this point, right? Minus 2, and it is decreasing from 1 to infinity, correct? In between, it's a horizontal line, so it is neither increasing nor decreasing. You get the idea, right? So that is how you could write increasing and decreasing interval for any function given in the form of a graph, correct? Now you could be also given equation of lines. So if I am given equation y equals to 2x plus 1, now in this particular case, can you write down the increasing and decreasing interval? Let me give you another equation, which is y equals to x minus 1 whole square minus 2. So these are the two equations given to you, and you need to write down increasing and decreasing interval for both these functions. One way is to sketch. Let's sketch the first one. So 2x plus 1 is a straight line with a positive slope, y-intercept of 1. So it could be kind of like this. Well, you see it is always increasing. Now if the function is always increasing, then it does not have any decreasing interval. So we can write always increasing, right? Or you write an interval for increasing as from minus infinity to plus infinity, right? Or mention never decreasing, right? Okay, so that is one way. How about the other one, where the equation is y equals to x minus 1 whole square minus 2. You can see from here, this is a parabola which opens up, right? Which opens up, and vertex is at 1 minus 2, right? So you could think about making a rough sketch like this, right? With vertex here at 1 minus 2. As you see, it is decreasing first and then increasing. So let me write decreasing. Interval here is from minus infinity to the x value, which is 1, right? And increasing from 1, the x value, 1 to infinity. Do you see that? So you could actually get it from the graph. So if an equation is given to you, it may be a good idea to sketch the graph. Or at times you may have to find turning points. So here is a critical thing to understand. You have to find turning points. So if you know the techniques of finding turning points, you can use them. Find turning points and then answer this kind of a question. Remember, whenever we have a horizontal line, then it is neither increasing nor decreasing. I hope this helps you to understand the basic concept and to write the interval of increase and decrease for a given function. Thank you and all the best.